Good evening. Thanks for tuning in to the Mountain West Conference Recap Show. I'm your host Shane Falco, along with my co-host Don King. We're going to go ahead and break down the new rankings, talk about some of the individual standout performances, go over the spreads for this week's upcoming games, and recap some of the game of the week. Game of the week was the Wreckage versus Razorback showdown. Two league staff going head-to-head. The game was definitely not as exciting as it probably could have been, as both teams looked to be a little pressed to try and make things happen. I know the talk behind the scenes here on the show was a game going one way or the other, and it definitely didn't turn out that way, as the game turned out to be a one-score game, unlike the 6-touchdown lead that a certain co-host of mine had said it was going to be. What do you got for the spreads for the week this week there, Don?
All right, spreads, week 3, Mountain West Conference. We do have an out-of-conference game. That's going to be Wreckage versus Weekend Warriors. I got Wreckage winning this one by 7, even though their QB is rumored to show up at halftime. 21-14. GBA versus the Shockers. This is going to be the game of the week for the conference. I got GBA winning this one in a close one by 1 point, 19-18. Can't wait to see that game myself. I got Jet Life versus the Razorbacks. I got the Razorbacks winning this one by 9 points. They're going to overcome their weakness at QB. I got that score 21-12. I got Seminoles versus Hitmen. I got Hitmen winning that one by 1 point. I just think that their defense is going to put up too many plays for the Seminoles to score that much. So I got them 14-13 in that one. Very close game. What do you have for your week 3 rankings there, Falcon?
Thanks, Don. Actually, QB showing up at halftime for Wreckage might be a blessing in disguise for Wreckage. That remains to be seen. Well, Mountain West is going to break down like this. I got GBA on top, number 1, newcomers to the league. So far making a big splash. Haven't played a lot of competition just yet, but they're doing what teams that are supposed to be good do, and winning pretty easily. We got Wreckage number 2, came in beating off the Razorbacks, close game, and so far we're halfway through the Lawson count, and with 2 weeks to go left on that count. So far he's still there. So Shockers shocking at number 3. A lot of athletic talent there, some experienced players on this team, and they're definitely going to, once they gel, going to make some noise. Got the Razorbacks at number 4 coming up short against that Wreckage team, and their practice sessions are apparently keeping them enough to be competitive. Got the Seminoles at number 5. So far got some very bad QB play, but there is a couple of playmakers on this team. Just don't see them making the playoffs in this conference. Got the Hitmen, number 6. Lost all the players that were on the Zebras, so they haven't been the same kind of team that they were last season when they won the Pac-10 championship. But we'll see how they play for the rest of the season. And Jet Life coming in last at number 7. Getting a first-hand look at these guys, I think they're definitely going to have to make some adjustments with the way they play offensively for the flag football game. But their QB does have an arm, and he's capable of making some plays. So we'll see how they, as they develop some chemistry and get used to the style of flag football play, how they adjust as the rest of the season goes on. Standout individual performances from those Shockers. I have Demetrius Berry playing some QB this week. He went 8 of 15 for 191 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also caught a pass for 42 yards and ran in 1 extra point conversion. Defensively, we're going to have co-defensive players of the week, starting with Wreckage's Jeffrey Lewis, a.k.a. Big Worm. He had no curlers out there, but he did manage to have 2 flag pulls and 2 sacks. And Kurt Sawyer, also from the Shockers, with 2 flag pulls and 2 sacks. So good job on the defensive line there, guys. What do you got for the upcoming game of the week in this conference there, Don?
Thanks, and yes, week 2 out of the week 4 Lawson watch. Yes, I'm still here. But how many touchdowns have you thrown this season, buddy? All right, Mountain West Conference game 3. Game of the week is going to be GBA versus the Shockers. GBA is 2-0. Shockers are 1-1. GBA leading the entire league in scoring, 29.5 points per clip, and they're only giving up 8.5 points per game. They have had a very cupcake schedule. And 1-1 Shockers, team that I think is on the rise. They're scoring at 17.5 points per game, and they're giving up 17 points per game. So, they took a bruising week 1. They showed that they could play in the league in week 2. They handed out the whooping, and this week they can shock the world by beating GBA. What are your take on the game?
Well, first of all, I know I caught 3 against that secondary of yours in the tournament. So I'll be happy with that. As far as the game goes, I definitely think the Shockers are gonna give this one a go. GBA definitely had an easy go so far. They got the Magician at QB there with Jason, but so far, I don't know. I think the Shockers are going to have some athletic matchups that might cause GBA some problems. So we'll see what happens there. I'm actually going to go with Shockers in the upset. I think they're going to knock GBA off and really make the conference a little bit more competitive down the stretch. That's going to wrap it up for us here on the Mountain West Conference recap. Tune in next week to find out the new players of the week and the new rankings, and good luck to everyone on the field.